Okay, I did see a really, really, really good comment on a post today. Best one I've seen. Well, the subject is meditation, which is my favorite subject. And this person was really good because they were talking about all of the religious doctrines that go with meditations. I don't know if I can remember them all, but they were really good because I'd never thought of this before. I'm stealing this. I have to steal this. This is super good. Okay, so this person said, well, they talked about meditating on nothingness. And they talked about the doctrine that you can get off the cycle of reincarnation. Hmm. Then they were talking about, the only problem with this person was they should have just stopped there because I got the point right away. But no, they ruined the whole comment because they put their own doctrine in. It was some African doctrine about Amen and Amenet. Amen is Amen Ra, which is an Egyptian kind of god or something. And Amenet must be like a female goddess that goes with Amen Ra. Oh, if you're Christian, um, why do you pray to an Egyptian god? At the end of all those Christian prayers in church, you go, Amen. You look up Amen. It's Amen Ra, and it's an Egyptian god. So why are these Christian churches praying to the Egyptian god? I have no idea. But when I was a child, we always said Amen after grace at dinner and in church and on television. Amen. And maybe not so much on TV. But the whole point of this person, let's cut to the chase. What about these doctrines that go with it? My niece was having a religious test today at her high school. She goes to a Roman Catholic high school, but she's not Roman Catholic. Why is this all coming up? Because Roman Catholicism is all about teaching you these doctrines and dogmas. What does it mean? Well, they're external things, external bits of information that you hear, but they're not coming from anything but another person who's, reading something from a book or from a poster. So how accurate is it? They're belief structures. So if you keep believing in this, is it going to make it happen? This is what people like, the idea, because if I keep believing in that this is going to happen, it's going to happen. Or why don't my beliefs ever come true? How come God doesn't talk to me? Somebody else on a posting today said that. I hear other voices, but I don't hear God speak to me. The whole point of it is you are unable to figure out. Sometimes I just misspeak myself, and then I got to stop for a minute and I try and, it's like a Freudian slip. Have you heard of that term? So if I do like misspeak myself, part of me wants to keep on going because I don't want to get all bogged down in this. But another part of me wants me to stop and listen to what I just said, the Freudian slip, to see if there was something interesting in there. I had a Freudian slip today when I was typing. I was typing out information, and I typed it infirm, INFIRM, information, as in information for sick people, infirmation. Keep looking for these kind of things because sometimes they're cute and they make you smile. Sometimes they go, what does that really mean? But, anyway, let's go back to yoga. And does meditation bring you any benefit according to these different doctrines of Well, Eastern philosophies, Eastern religions are very much into meditation. Some Christians do a meditation, but at the end of church service when I was a boy, they had it written in the program, silent interlude and meditation. But they never taught us what to do. They never taught us what a silent interlude was, and they never taught us what a meditation was and what we were supposed to do. But, if you go to like a Christian abbey, perhaps they might teach you a Christian meditation where maybe you look at a psalm from the Bible and review it and then, contemplate it. They would call that a meditation. So where did these ideas about, reincarnation and if you meditate a lot and you're going to be able to get off the cycle of reincarnation, where did all this stuff come from? It's doctrine. In other words, somebody wrote it down and you have no idea where they were on the scale of human consciousness. If you've got the ability to muscle test, and you do, you just have to learn how to do it, you could muscle test it and get an idea on the scale of human consciousness where this doctrine lies. Can you trust muscle testing to give you the truth? Well, it's going to be your personal truth. And I would go with your own personal truth before you read it out of a book. Somebody else officially gave this doctrine a calibration of 500 on the scale of human consciousness, because that was somebody else. And for you, if you got 225, then 225 is what it is, and go with that. You're way better to do your own muscle testing than to get Truth versus Falsehood, the book by David R. Hawkins. Why? Because it's your truth if you do your own muscle testing. I mean, that's all they did. They did their muscle testing. I don't think that Hawkins even did a lot of the muscle testing. He had a group of other people that did it. So who are those people? No one knows who those peoples are. But I know, just from talking with other people about some of the calibrations that Hawkins gives in Truth versus Falsehood, especially that have to do with George Bush's administration. He did. That was when his book came out, around the time of George Bush and George Bush's wars, and he gave George Bush a very high calibration. And we sat around and we said, that's a lie. That's a bullshit. And the explanation was that David R. Hawkins, on his breaks from being a spiritual teacher, he used to watch a lot of Fox News. What does that mean? Well, if you watch Fox News, you're a right-wing Republican. And that might explain why Dr. Hawkins had the endorsement of Lee Iacocca, the chairman of Chrysler Corporation, and Sam Walton, the founder of Walmart. These ones are, connect the dots. So I would say Dr. Hawkins is got good information, good general information, but the specifics you have to really watch out, because he was a rich man. Dr. David R. Hawkins had, according to him, the largest psychiatric practice on the East Coast of the United States. Other psychiatrists would send him the problem patients that they couldn't deal with. Now, why am I having trouble talking? Anytime that I find that I'm saying the wrong words, I'm saying he instead of it, I always stop and I go, I'm being interfered with. My energy is not coming out clean. Let's begin again. Dr. Hawkins was sent patients by other psychiatrists that those other psychiatrists, that should be plural, the other psychiatrists couldn't treat. So he I'm assuming, well, I don't think he was a billionaire, but he wasn't, he wasn't a poor man. And his distortions are going to be related to his belief in capitalism. He was definitely pro capitalism. How do I know? He talks about capitalism as being a bonus thing for you as a human. And some of the points he makes are very good. But you have to understand that it's just one teaching, Dr. Hawkins' stuff, and you have to look to other teachings. And the teachings that I'm going to go to are Law of One. And I don't think Law of One was even known by Dr. Hawkins, but Law of One is more prevalent among young people who have had spiritual awakenings. People that have gray in their beard, probably, other than me, because I'm just, always got my nose in a book. Other people my age don't know Law of One. Never heard of it. It was actually a channeled work, probably from extraterrestrials. But it's interesting stuff. It's very interesting stuff. And the old Islamic proverb is, a man with only one book is an idiot. So I'm not going to tell you only look at Dr. Hawkins, or only look at Law of One, or only look at Stuart Wilde, or only look at Deepak Chopra, only look at Paramahansa Yogananda, only look at Carlos Castaneda. No, if you really want to search out distortions in truth teachings, you have to read a lot of different kind of authors and different kind of books, because this is where you're going to pick up the hints. There's the old story that there were two great sages in India in the past 100 years. There was Ramana Maharshi, and there was Nisargadatta Maharaj. And I think it was, let's go with Maharaj. He said, if you don't like my teachings, go down the road to the other guru. Does Ramana Maharshi and Nisargadatta Maharaj teach the same thing? They're different personalities. They were brought up in, I'm going to say, Hindu philosophy, and we have to know a little bit about Hinduism. We call it one religion, but it ain't. It's like Christianity, all the different denominations: Roman Catholic, Eastern Orthodox, Coptic Christian, and then you have all of the Protestant denominations: Church of England, Church of Scotland, Lutheranism, Lutheran, Baptist. Then you've got offshoots that some people call cults, like Mormonism. And that's what Hinduism is like. Buddhism is like that too. There's different big schools of Buddhism. So what does it mean to all of you? It means that if you were brought up with only one type of one religion, you're really missing the boat, because the one you were brought up in might not even work for you, and there might be another version that works for you. In the end, distortions that they talk about in Law of One, I'll talk about it in the next video.